Hello and welcome everybody back to another episode of Hardstuck. I am thrilled to be joined by the amazing Justin Metapusher Wilkes and J704 not found Burkholder. And today we're going to be talking about a jam-packed episode filled with electrifying esports from this past weekend, an explosive Call of Duty League play, and an intense ESL Pro League Season 21. And stick around because we might have a few extras if time allows. But let's dive right into it. What's the deal with Falcons? They came in as the number 6 seed, faced the tough losses against Mouse and 3D Max, only snagging a single win against Liquid. At the time of this recording right now, Liquid actually just confirmed their spot into the bracket this coming weekend. But Falcons are still on the outside looking in. Their match is going to be at, I believe, 2:30 Eastern today. So as we're recording this, don't know the results of that yet. But Jay, dying to know your thoughts on how Falcons has looked so far.
Yeah, the Falcons have looked pretty shaky, not going to lie. I do think there is a factor there in the teams that they're playing. Obviously, they lost to Mouse. Mouse being fantastic, coming out of PGL, winning that, right? 3D Max has been decent. I wouldn't say they're one of the better teams in this league. They've also had a rough matchup, obviously going up against Vitality in round 2. I don't know. I mean, like, they're just not looking like a team, right? Niko's pretty great, but like overall, their chemistry just not delivering on kills, just not delivering on team play. So maybe they fix some of that and they can actually play up against some of these higher seeded teams and win. But I do think that we're being maybe a little too unfair on them when it comes to the bracket and results.
Justin, how about you?
Yeah, I agree. They have had some tough matchups, and I do think overall they do have a fairly strong roster, but there is some underperformings there. I think Niko and Magisk are playing really good, but the rest of the team's kind of dropping the ball a little bit. I feel like if they can step it up, Falcons could be like an upset potential, maybe into the bracket if they do make it past Eternal Fire. Eternal Legion, Eternal Fire?
Eternal Fire.
Eternal
Actually,
Fire.
live update right now. Falcons was leading 8-4 going into the half of Inferno, Eternal Fire. Funny enough, it is their map pick. However, second half, 0-9, Eternal Fire come back to win it 13-8. Falcons didn't even pick up a round in the second half of map 1. Not looking good on their back foot. They only got one more map, and then if not, they're going home. But yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more that if they do get past Eternal Fire today, which they have to win the next 2 maps, but I could see them causing a few upsets in the bracket play.
Yeah, and before we came in here, they were leading. I was actually thinking I was going to come out of here with some good Falcons results. The fact that they lost that map, that's pretty tragic. And maybe those downsides that we were talking about are just more becoming more apparent, I feel like on paper, this roster should be playing really well, and they should absolutely be performing better than they are, but they're just not. So something's got to change if they want to make it out and make a deep run in the major.
Yeah, and speaking of that, as literally we have 2 more matches left of Swiss play, the current Falcons versus Eternal Fire match, and then the G2 match later this evening. Who do you think the current powerhouse is for ESL, Justin?
Well, I feel like it's either got to be Spirit or it's got to be Vitality. I feel like the objective answer is Spirit. Donk is just too broken, and as a team, they're just too freaking good. But as a former Envy player, I have a soft spot in my heart for French CS teams, and I think I'll give it to Vitality. I think they have that extra, that je ne sais quoi, and they will deliver when they need to.
Love it. Jay, how about you?
I got to disagree.
Oh, no.
I'm Team Spirit all day. Yeah. I think Team Spirit has been dominating for at least the last year of CS in a way that we have not seen in other esports in the way I want to see in other esports. And that's kept me interested in Counter-Strike. Donk is obviously playing at a level, at LeBron levels, if you will, if you like sports and follow that. He cleared the awards a few months ago for Counter-Strike Awards, winning all 4 of what I think are the best awards, including MVP, Best Player. And we're seeing that here in this tournament too, being qualified, or in regular season, being qualified for the next tournament just easily. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Team Spirit. I mean, Vitality has been playing extremely well too. If I had to put the 2 together, I think it would be a really tough matchup, but I do think Spirit overall, just higher level of play from their players. Vitality might be a better team overall, but the players on Team Spirit, that's what keeps me watching.
Can't complain about it when you got Dunk on the team. He literally acts as two individuals, so it's hard not to pull for Spirit as well. Again, the number 1 and number 2 team in Swiss play, they both finished 1 and 2. They were the only 2 teams to go undefeated. Vitality, however, having a 36 round difference. Spirit only having a 35. 1 round over 3 different matches over 3 different maps. It's not even close. They're still the 1 and 2. However, let's take a look even further down the bracket play. I think we just said Justin will be Team Vitality. Jay's going to be Team Spirit. Those are your two. Are they your favorites to win as well, Jay? And if you could pick, give me one underdog sneaking suspicion.
I definitely like what I'm seeing from Team Spirit, and I want to see more of them.
Okay.
That being said...
Easy favorite then for you.
That being said...
Oh.
Mao's had an incredible run at PGL, and it has been wonderful to watch Torzy having fun in this entire series, and as well as at PGL. The smile on that man's face when his team plays well and he makes a good IGL call makes me feel good and warm inside as well. So if there's any team that I'm rooting for, I think it is going to be Mao's in this entire thing.
I don't even know if I would say that that's an underdog, Jay, because
it's fair.
They did win PGL Cluj-Napoca.
But they were underdogs going into that, okay?
Okay, yeah, because I was about to say 4 of the top 5 teams didn't even show up to PGL, and now that they're here, 4 out of the top 5 minus FaZe for ESL because they don't compete in ESL. But yeah, still a relatively strong pick. I was looking for a little bit more dark horse. Hopefully, Justin will be able to give us something.
I've got you, and I've got a complicated story to weave right here for you guys. So.
Go for it.
This match hasn't happened yet, but G2 and Gamer Legion are about to play for one of the last slots, the final elimination match.
Yep.
I've got G2 winning that, coming into the bracket as the 8th seed, upsetting Team Spirit in round 1, and then Vitality wins the whole tournament.
Wow.
I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
Calling my shot, Babe Ruth style, episode 2 of Hardstuck. If I get this right, I get eternal credit. And nobody can ever doubt any of my predictions ever. So I'm going big.
You're going to be the CS GOAT.
That's right.
There you go. Love to see it. Actually, I think my 2 quick hitters would be, and they're both playing right now, one being G2, agreeing with Justin, and the other is Falcon. I think Niko is just, he's been flashy. Again, the team hasn't been winning, but we've been watching them because they keep losing and keep advancing through Swiss play. But Niko is just so fun to watch, and he could take over a match at any point in time. So I still think that they're a sneaky good pick. And I'm going to have to side with Jay on the favorite. I think it's going to be Team Spirit pulling out the tournament win at the end of next weekend. Yeah. So, but shifting on over into Call of Duty League, just another weekend of league matches. However, some fun and exciting things that we did see out of it nonetheless. No earth-shattering surprises yet, but don't worry. There's still plenty to dissect. Carolina Royal Ravens. I don't know why I said that with such a weird accent. However, the Carolina Royal Ravens had another great performance. But what do they do to finally break that top 4 curse? They've gotten top 4. They've gotten top 4. They've gotten top 4. How do they break that, Justin?
I'm not sure. I think you just got to keep getting reps online. I mean, I think people are not doubting this team's ability to perform online right now. But the question is, can they step up when it comes to LAN in Dallas? Are they going to be able to make a big push? I think they have the players to do it, and I think they will be able to. It's just that online versus LAN, just the Gwinternet is just, he's never going to be able to live that down, I don't think.
Unfortunately not. Jay, as our resident Carolina Royal Raven expert, what are your thoughts?
I would definitely say I'm one of their bigger fans, but it's tough, right? Because when we play some of the top seeded teams in this league, that being Thieves and FaZe, we look like a different team. And I want to say personally that is because of the skill that Thieves and FaZe present, but I don't know if there isn't indicatively a larger problem with our org. I do want to say, we have great players. TJ Howley performing, Gwen performing, but when it comes to team chemistry, I don't see us winning maps as easily as other teams. I don't see us winning it in a team fashion.
Okay.
I think we have heavy hitters, but when you look at the way that Atlanta FaZe is playing ball, figuratively, we're not putting up the numbers. We're not playing the same chemistry. And I think if we begin to play like them, at least on a team chemistry level, not to repeat myself a million times, but I think we'll measure up. But as a top 4, top 3 team, I think we can easily break into top 4. I don't know if we're going to beat the big hitters.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to say because, again, we've beaten up Optic over the past couple of weeks saying that they're at the bottom of the barrel. They're barely scraping by. They should team implode. However, you're saying the exact same thing for Carolina Royal Ravens, who have literally consistently got top 4 at almost every single event there's been up to this point in time.
But only top 4.
But it isn't 3, 2, or 1, so it's like maybe you got to shake things up. You might need to fall down a little bit to be able to climb a little bit. So I totally understand that. It's just interesting. I didn't expect that take from you. But now on to the surprise of the week. Not really, to be said. But let's talk about Ultra. Absolutely crushed it this weekend. 3-0 over Optic. I guess you could beat a guy while he's down. Not necessarily so sure. And then another solid 3-1 against Vegas. Vegas, who's still finding a way to get a map every week. Still doing more than Optic. Crazy to think about in the grand scheme of things. Sorry, Green Wall. But we should really expect Ultra to snag a top 3 spot on land. Is this too bold of a statement? Overreaction, underreaction? Jay?
No, I don't think so. They've been playing incredibly well the last few weeks. Them and Surge, I've been enjoying what I'm seeing from them. It's good to see names that we haven't seen at the top of the leaderboard for a while get back up there. So I've been loving what I'm watching. So, yeah.
Cool. Justin?
I think if you're making that prediction based off of just this previous week, the matchups versus Optics and the Falcons, and yeah, it's an overreaction. I mean, they looked really good. Joe DeCeves kind of just dominated them. I mean, there were so many clips of him laughing at their decisions and just honestly just being borderline rude. But I mean, if people are doing that like to you, can't blame them. If you talking about ball, if you act like that on a basketball court, people are going to laugh at you too. So if it's just based off this week, I'll say it's an overreaction, but I do think that the Ultra are a legit team. They play really good COD, and it would not surprise me to see them be in that top 3. So I'll say it's not an overreaction.
Yeah, loving me some Joe DeCeves right now too. He's bounced around the league a little bit. I know he's relatively new as well, but I'm glad he's found a home, and it seems like he's the center point for Ultra right now, which is great to see out of him. I see he's putting up some big numbers, which is great as well, but I also think it's an overreaction. Last week, I don't even think we had him scratching our top 4, top 5, and they beat 2 of the bottom teams coming into this week, and it's like, all right, the 4 of us in the office could have probably done the same against Optic and the Falcons right now, which is sad to say, but I don't know, maybe, if we scrubbed enough energy together. But just one weekend left of league play before the Optic Land Showdown on March 20th. What predictions or upsets do you see on the horizon going into this weekend's last week of league play? I've got my eyes, like we were just talking about, the ideal third place matchup currently of Surge versus Ultra. Anything you got your eyes on for this upcoming weekend?
So I was making my pick'ems. I didn't really pick any major upsets or anything to pick, but the one that if it was going to happen that I did give a map choice that you might not expect, Optic versus LA Gorillas. That's going to be on Sunday, the first map. I think if Optic has a chance to bring it back, that might be their best chance. So if you're an Optic fan, that's the one you're going to ride or die on, and you need to really give them their energy, give them your energy for. So that's the one I'm picking, but my upset's just going to be like 1 or 2 maps for Optic, not a full win.
Not the full win.
Sorry.
Especially like you said, that's going to be the first match on Sunday. However, Friday, they're obviously going to be in a little worse for the wear. Unfortunately, hopefully I'm not stealing your thunder, Jay, but I'm expecting some scrap middle fingers from that LA Thieves Optic Texas match to put them down just an even step further. And we might even see a mid-weekend roster change, if not already. I don't know if anybody's seen. There was pictures of Hugh in the Discord call yesterday, so they might have already pulled the plug that was unplugged, that's replugged in. Who knows? Nobody can keep up, and we'll only find out when the match comes, probably Friday at 4:30, when we see what 4 players are in the lobby or not. But Jay, any matchups you're looking forward to this weekend?
I'm interested to see the Cloud9 versus FaZe match. Cloud9 has been interesting to see. I mean, we've talked about Toronto Ultra and Vancouver Surge playing pretty well recently as some of the mid-tier teams that have been playing a lot better. Same thing with Cloud9. Of course, Carolina Royal Ravens, I will always say they were going to win that. But when we look at them versus FaZe, I want to see how they measure up too. I want to see if they can steal a map off of them. And then, honestly, this weekend, I am hard set on the fact that these are going to be blowouts. All of these matches, pretty much all of them. And again, like Optic is playing Thieves this weekend. I don't see that going very well. And maybe they do have a roster swap on Saturday. We could see that, and maybe it goes extremely well, but I don't think so, right? Like a roster swap that quickly, and you're going to have a team that doesn't have any chemistry. I'll say it a million times on this show, I'm always for the team chemistry over the heavy hitters, even when it comes to my babies, the Royal Ravens. So
understand. You said blowout, even in the Ultra Surge matchup?
I think so. So.
You're giving it to Ultra?
I'm giving it to Ultra, yes.
3-0.
May 3-1.
I've got Surge 3-2. That's one of my 2 3-2s there.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got Surge? I think I'm leaning with you. I think it's going to be a game 5. It's going to be close, but I'm happy to give it to Surge as well.
So I think Surge played well last weekend or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
In the minor, right?
Yep.
I don't know that they're as good as everybody thinks they are right now. No offense.
Does Ep2 need to turn the face cam back off?
I think that could help.
Back over
Yeah.
the face.
Yeah. Maybe the aimbot back on.
Whoa. We're not throwing out
I'm
these
kidding.
things. But hey, outside of CS and CDL, what was your most thrilling thing that you caught in the world of esports this past weekend, Jeff?
So I spent the last weekend actually at Boost on the Beach, which is a collegiate Rocket League and Super Smash Bros. LAN at Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. It was about 16 different colleges and universities that came together to the city of Myrtle Beach to put on this LAN. Production was run by students. A lot of the admin and TOing was also run by students. Some big collegiate leaders there. I was there with my org, Carolina Gaming, and we had a grand time just covering media for the event. But I love esports. I love collegiate esports. I love esports at all levels, and this had it from all levels. There was local Smash tournament. There was a high school Smash tournament. There was collegiate Rocket League. And all of it was super fun, super well done. So shout out to them. That was a great time.
Who won?
Concord University.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They have a great Rocket League team.
That's not Concord in North Carolina. That's Concord, Ohio, right?
Or maybe
It is Concord in the Carolinas.
Okay.
But I don't think it's that Concord.
Different Concord?
There's too many Concords.
Yeah.
Yes. There's also a Converse as well.
And there's also like multiple Maryvilles. One's in Tennessee, one's in Ohio. One's good at video games, one isn't.
Yeah, Concord in the Carolinas, but not Concord, North Carolina. Concord, South Carolina.
Okay. Well,
if that's confusing.
Congrats to Concord, regardless.
To be honest, whatever you know about college esports and you think you're like, oh, I know where that is, it's not. It's
not at all.
It's probably 2 time zones over, unfortunately.
I was going to say, if that's confusing, just take a larger look at the collegiate landscape.
Yeah. So, Justin, how about you?
For me, I was watching a lot of the League of Legends. We had First Stand just started up today. We got to see North America versus European in the opener match. It was a banger, 2-1 in a victory. TL pulled it out for us with their vastly American roster. So great job, TL. And then we got to see Hanwha facing off against Top Esports, pretty much the guaranteed top 2, a preview of finals, and Hanwha dominated in 2. So good little feeler for how the rest of the tournament is. The group stage is playing out right now. Europe actually just lost this morning to the PCS team, or LCP. You know, they rename their region all the time. But so it's looking very rough for the LEC, for the European League fans out there, and in a kind of thriving underneath the usual Korean and Chinese banners that dominate every international event.
Totally understand, but live update on the Falcons Eternal Fire match. Map 2, Falcons up to a quick 6-1 victory. Maybe that lit the fire under. Hopefully they'll be able to.
They heard us.
Maybe they were up in game 1 as well. So who knows?
But that is about all the time we have here today on Hardstuck. Hope to see you next time. See you, everybody.